Hi, Pastor Robert Cook from the Greencastle Presbyterian Church in Greencastle, Pennsylvania. And this is a meditation for the Monday of the second week of Advent. Yesterday, we lit the candle of peace. Peace is that way of trusting God, that God has everything in control. Some time ago, I went with the youth group to Hershey Park, and they dared me to take the Great Bear. I'm a big, tough guy. I can do this. So I got on the Great Bear after waiting about an hour in line. It was a hot day, but it was fine. And they said, take your glasses off and put them away. Tucked them in my shirt. And then the thing went off. And it only took a minute, maybe a little less than a minute, 50 some seconds. And what I found is don't fight it. Just go with it. Don't try and, control the thing. Just let it take you. And it's a lot of fun. And it is. It took me about 15 or 20 seconds to get that mindset. But once I did, then the rest of that Great Bear ride was terrific. And if they didn't have a line for an hour, I'd have done it all over again. That'd have been fine. Well, the Christian life is a lot like this. You can't control a whole lot. So you have to trust that the Lord has you where you need to be and gives you peace. One of the wonderful messages of peace is in John 14. That's the place we call the Last Supper, where Jesus is talking to his disciples. Everybody's scared to death. He knows he's going to die, but he's trusting God. And he says, my peace I leave with you. Not like the world gives, do I give to you. Don't let your heart be troubled, neither be afraid. It's an earthly peace that he had going to the Garden of Gethsemane. Not an easy one either. That earthly peace of being arrested later on in the garden, of going to a place of torture and beatings, standing in front of Pilate and having such calm and just trusting God for all of this. So this life of faith is simply trusting that God has everything in control, that we don't have to try and overdo it, over control it, overthink it. We just have to trust. And remember, my peace, he says, I leave with you. So there's ways to practice peace. Moments of stillness where you just turn everything off, your phone, the computer, the TV, whatever, you just turn it off. And you just sit in the stillness. I actually like doing that with a cup of tea over coffee, but just relax with a cup of herbal tea and breathe. And another way of doing it is acts of kindness that ask something of me that I'm never going to share with anyone else that I've done it. I'm just going to do what I can do in kindness and then trust that God does with it what needs to be done. So on this Advent Monday, practice stillness, do acts of kindness. Remember that Christ's peace is with you, that coming to this earth in that peaceful setting in a world that was crazy, in a world that would get crazier for him, was all about trust. And even when the worst happened, 30 some years later, the trust paid off. So have a wonderful second week of Advent, and may God bless you richly.